Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Shelf Life. I'm Kimberly Dykman, and as always, we promise you to bring you the real people behind some of the books that are hitting the shelves today that change lives. We showcase the real message and the purpose behind them, and we share the real perspective as to why they're going to be so real to you and make sense and become a part of your lives. The gentleman that's about to join us is, if you don't have his book already, because it's going into its third print, and if you haven't seen him already, he's been on so many talk shows from Sally Jesse to Geraldo. This will be a great opportunity for you to meet a man who is now very successful in business as a senior loan officer, but is a survivor of an alcoholic family and just getting through abuse. And the book is called Runaway. And please join me in welcoming Steve Simpson.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm lovely, and it's so great to sit next to a fellow in New York. So first off, congratulations on the third run of this, for crying out loud.
Thank you.
I want you to first kind of bring everybody in by giving us a little bit of synopsis of what this book is about and how it's almost fiction meets nonfiction. So,
Cool thing about Runaway is that most young adults don't want to read a documentary. And most young adults, if you were in a classroom when the teacher said, who wants a page on abuse or sexual abuse or physical abuse, no one's going to raise their hand. I'll take two of those.
Exactly.
You know, it's a fiction novel. It's exciting. It could be a movie if it had to be. And if any walk of life, you know, you would just enjoy the book. But it brings up the characters in the story. All have lived different abuses and different problems in their family, and they all talk about them during the story. So while all this action's going on, and good guys and bad guys, they're bringing all these issues up in a very careful and non-threatening way.
So part of your personal life experience is in there, and why did you actually choose to say, I'm gonna put part of me in this? And what was that like, to put yourself out there, so to speak?
Well, not the fiction parts, of course, but I wrote about what I knew about as far as the drama, being a child of an alcoholic, coming from an abusive household. First off, as a writer, I started writing when I was 11 years old. So these were my escapes, don't forget.
Of course.
You know, so even though I was thinking of fantasy, I was always fantasizing fantastic stories like Runaway to escape my problems. But I, of course, like any child from a dysfunctional home, I would drag all these problems with me, even in my fantasies. And that's how Runaway came out.
And a lot of folks probably wouldn't be aware of how much violence that's in this fiction novel is actually true, that happens day to day to day in street life. So how is this currently, because it's in our third run here, but how is this now truly still mirroring what goes on in street life and that at-risk youths are dealing with?
More than ever, actually. And it's funny, more than ever. As far as the streets, the violence, turn on the news. All you see is more and more violence, but also in the household. You know, not just the streets. Look at the violence inside people's households. And there's different types of abuses, don't forget. You know, there is physical, which the book covers, but even the verbal abuse. People used to laugh at that term. But I myself, growing up, my self-esteem was shattered. I didn't have low self-esteem. I had no self-esteem growing up. Because from a little kid, as far as I can remember, I was called all sorts of horrible names by my father, always putting me down. And that's another abuse that the book also covers as well.
You are endorsed by the National Runaway Switchboard?
Yeah, they put Runaway in their school curriculum as suggested reading.
Okay. So how did that come about?
It was endorsed because years ago that, again, it brought out all these issues. All these issues were brought out, and then after the story ends, there's two of my former columns. One's on suicide, one's on being children of alcoholics, which directly deal with why kids might run away. And they thought it was so craftful to actually entertain in a way, and yet bring all these issues up in a very non-threatening way, okay, and not bring attention to someone, that they thought it was a good idea back then to endorse. And it works.
Are you wanting to speak more? Are you wanting to set up your own hotline? What are some things that you personally
Well, my hotline. That one's already out there, so I won't compete with the Runaway Switchboard.
Don't call him in his house, but, you know, I figured I'd...
But, well, yes, as far as the book, you know, you say it's a third printing, and you would think, are things better now? No, they're worse. There's more suicide attempts, more running away, more dysfunctional problems in the household. Economics does play part of it, but it doesn't make the problem. It exacerbates problems that existed already, so you can't blame it all on economics either.
Right.
Disease of alcoholism more rampant than ever, drug use more rampant than ever, and again, young people starting it themselves younger and younger. So again, the awareness, but I want to not just bring the awareness to what the kids do, like I said. I want to bring the awareness to how to get help. Okay, I've been on both sides of the fence. In school, I've been what I call a Z student, the opposite of an A student. I was the class clown, the class wise guy, the class tough guy. I couldn't sit through something like this. I'd have to be thrown out of here. I was always making wisecracks. And I turned to the opposite. I became an A student. Same person. So what was the difference? Because when I was the worst student, I believed I was dumb, I was stupid, I was hopeless. And what changed in me wasn't magic, a radioactive spider didn't bite me and I become a superhero, okay? What changed was I started to believe, no, I'm not stupid, I'm not hopeless, I am smart. I always say my worst critic was my father, who was drunk all the time. And I said, what am I listening to him for? And I got positive people around me, and that's, again, seeking help, seeking encouragement. Right. There's all sorts of groups out there that can help out. Counseling services, 12-step programs, fellowships, all out there that can help individuals out, and free. And I gained my self-esteem. It's amazing. You become a whole other person. So, and then hopelessness goes away. You know, you think there's no other answer. I was tired. I can't go through another X amount of years of this. I can't do it. I don't have to. You know, and what happens when you're young, you know, a healthy family has a parent or some adult that can give other ideas to the child when they think things are hopeless. Right. A dysfunctional family, there's no one there telling that child there's hope and this is the way you do it. So I learned there's other ways of doing things. And not all adults were my enemies. I stopped attacking my teachers, and guess what? They stopped attacking me back.
So aside from the book and speaking in the National Runaway Switchboard, you've got a special group that you've been working with and that you started 20 years ago. So for 20 years you've had the Together We Can Make It group. So please share with our audience what that is all about and the experience that you've got with these at-risk youth and how they are loving this book.
Well, an experience, probably more experience for me than it is for them over the years. Exactly. Now it's a teen/young adult group, but it used to be like a preteen/teen group. And what's happened over the years, a lot of the members have just stayed in. So you might have a 20-year-old that's been since they're 12 years old. And it's become a family, and that's really cool about it.
And for some of them, probably their first family, right?
Well, I always say for some it became a second family, and for some over the years it became a first family, for lack of. Even things like birthdays we make a big deal out. We all go out for someone's birthday because they may not be going out for their birthday otherwise.
Right.
And we meet together once a week, every Monday night. That's where I am. Everyone knows it. Don't bother me on Monday nights. I don't care what the situation is. That's why I can never run for president. All right. So, and what happens is they'll discuss their problems or discuss a topic that they relate to. And just have a lot of fun. And they might fight like family members too. We get each other's nerves. They'll let me know when I get on their nerves. But it's important to me. And it's at least a consistency amongst a word of inconsistency.
So if folks want to get some more information, they can phone you. No, I'm just kidding. They can obviously call the National Runaway Switchboard to get help, but they can go to your website, powerpublishingcorp.com, to find out some more as well. And
about myself, about Runaway.
Okay, and the up-and-comings, so they know how much space to make on their bookshelf, right? Thank you so very much. This has been awesome. This has definitely been awesome. And thank you guys for joining us at Shelf Life. Again, I'm Kimberly Dykman, and we, as always, we're bringing you real people. And if Steve ain't real, I don't know. I don't know what is. This was just a fantastic experience. So thanks again for joining us. We'll see you real soon.